Hello, Triva here at Astro Travel News. Well, if you'll ask me, how is it that I get my downloads? And I think all of us is similar and different. We all have different kind of skills. And as I have developed along the way, what's happening with me, I can still honestly tell you a lot of it has to do with prayer, okay? It really does. I and mental telepathy. So I think I'm getting messages not only from people that have passed on, but I'm actually hearing messages from people that are behind the scenes that are actually talking to me, and I can hear them. Some that are not passed away. So I think it's both. Honestly, and sometimes it's just me, just me thinking, you know, and putting pieces together. And these last several months, it's exactly what I've been doing. And I've realized if you look at the news and what's going on, these horrible catastrophes that are going on out there, the heavens, the ethers are trying to communicate with all of us, not just a few. They realize that there's some urgent need for us to stop what we're doing, whatever nonsensical, unimportant thing we're participating in, and really take a look at what's going on around you. You're so we all have been, and we are. It's hard not to be in the 3D, but also now we need to get to a place where we can also get past that and take a look at what is actually happening around us. There's some things that people would consider impossible. For instance, mental telepathy, getting downloads from people that have passed on. Some people, they are naysayers. They don't want to believe these things. It's just because it doesn't happen to them, they don't want to believe it. The same with like aliens. Nobody wants to really believe it, although we kind of know it. No one would ever confirm it for the only millions of people that have actually seen them, including myself. I've seen strange aircraft out there myself before. And it's a really interesting, and you could think it could be a really beautiful time of the world if we would allow it to be. But it seems to be that right now, the Lord has given Satan this window. He's given him the stage for a minute. And I don't know why he's surrounding me. I don't know why I have been this target. I have no idea, I kind of get it now. And, and I want to be used by the Lord. Don't get me wrong, I do. But I also realize that it is a pivotal time in our country and the world that our protections are firmly grounded in reality, and that we are putting our trust in actual tangible things that matter to our safety and to the well-being of our societies, no matter where we live. And it's so very critical right now that we find a way to have peace and harmony, that we're in big trouble if we don't. We don't want to end up destroying ourselves, okay? But there are some people out there that are very dark that actually do want to do that. They want to destroy humanity the way that it is and make the masses be one world country, and some believe that that would be best. And it might be if Jesus were actually here, but he's not here yet. And there's so much diversity that it would still be a difficult thing to pull off. But the whole purpose of it really is it's not really for humanity at all. I believe it's for these people that are so successful, and so they have kind of like all the money in the world. They're working on space, where we're going to move to if the earth comes to an end. All these things, these are important. And then somebody is interested in AI and trying to figure out how to outsmart human beings by creating a intelligence, a computerized intelligence, which, by the way, is downloaded by human beings. And so telling us how to think and feel about pretty much anything, right? And this AI thing can even, just like it can take a duplication of your image and even animate it. There's no, I said this before, this came to my mind, that there would be a way for them to actually duplicate a synthetic DNA, placing you at a crime scene, or copying you to be somebody else that you're really not, in order to gain off your work and your mind. And that's what's happening. And then it came to me, somebody said this to me, you're a dummy. And I thought, a crash test dummy of MK Ultra. Okay, why would I even say something so ludicrous as that the government would do something like that, right? But when you look back in the 50s and 60s, around the time that I was born, they actually were doing these experiments on people with psychedelic drugs, MK Ultra, and the CIA was trying to learn this mind control. It wasn't just the Arabs and people over there. Our government was learning mind control, and then we had people like Earl Nightingale and some people that came out that we really aspired to learn from, that were telling us, you're being controlled, just so you know. Humanity is being controlled by these people that have figured out the cosmos and know how to control us. And one of those ways is religion. So you have to even be careful with religion, because, it is a force of mass control. You're just going to have to face it, okay? As much as and I love Jesus Christ, I really do. But religion is a tool to control the masses. It just is, okay? Maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you did. But it's kind of getting more and more obvious. But anyway, there are worse. Well, are there worse? No, there's nothing worse than being lied to. I'm pretty sure that's true. We have to have in ourselves, in our own minds and in ourselves, the capacity to think outside the box. I've always thought outside the box. That's what annoys everybody, is that I think outside the box. I can see what's going on around me. I ask questions, annoying questions. And sorry, that's just how my mind works, is to question things and to wonder why things are, the way that they are. And in a way, there is some innocence there, because I don't have a mind that calculates evil toward people. I have a wonder and childlike excitement about things that I learn. And so I'm not as focused on the negative as some people are. And I have nothing to gain from controlling somebody or, taking at somebody else's stuff. I just want to do my own thing. That's just the way I am. But there's other people out there that want to take over all of our lives. And I'm being really serious right now. It seems that the Lord has stepped back and allowed for a period of time for Satan to have the stage right now. And we're watching his work unfold. There has been a permeating evil that has just, it's almost like a fire, how it just, when something catches on fire and the blue part of the flame, it just kind of reaches out and grabs the next blade of grass, and it just goes. Well, it's like that. It's almost like a fire. And it's on in the world, it's on our platforms, and it starts out subtle and it just grows to be this really enormous flame. And if we're not paying attention, before we know it, we're all engulfed in it, okay? And we're not expecting it. We don't know what happened. All of a sudden, we're in the middle of this huge crisis. And so, but anyway, I want to tell you that because of this attack that I've been under, and there's no point in denying or hiding it or anything like that. We all know that you did it, and they made a documentary of me, being this horrible, horrible person. My ex-husband, years ago when we were married, behind my back, made a videotape of us, intimately, and then decided that he was going to use that to make me look like I was a prostitute for this thing that's going on right now, okay? And so they wanted to make me, because they knew I had money coming, They knew that I had inheritance. They found out from family that I have different parents than what I thought I had, and that there's more to me than I knew, right? And so I've been trying to get down to the bottom of that. Wouldn't you want to know who you are? What if this was happening to you? Would you want to know and say, hey, you know, you mean that my life with these people that were so crappy to me, you mean that they're not really, and it's sad as at first, especially at first. Okay, it was really unsettling and hard at first, but now when I think about it, I think like, well, it's only going to go up from here because I don't want that back there. So it's really, I want to find out these truths. You would want to know these truths, and I intend to get to them, to the bottom of them, every single one of them. It's just, it doesn't matter, truly, in which way I was conceived, because I'm here and I'm alive, and I'm a mother, which is really an honor, and I'm a singer, which is an honor, and I have these gifts. And so people are asking, what do you think you are? So what do you think I am? Okay, I'm kind of a medium. I'm a psychic. That's for sure. I'm able to receive information, and I think I'm able to send it out too. I'm able to send it out to living people, not just people that have died. I know that's true. I can pick up on energies really like scary close, okay? I can, especially right now, because there's something that's going on out there right now. And people like us, we're paying attention more than ever, because this mind control is a very serious problem at this time. And you can blame it on ISIS, you can blame it on, Iraq. You can blame it on you can blame it. But we know, just if you go on Google or on YouTube and search, CIA mind control facts, from, times past. And then there was another one too where about around the time that I was born, they were doing a program that, it was like children that were not nurtured, but they were taken from their moms and they were not nurtured. They were not loved or given that motherly nurturing. They were completely separated from those kind of that emotional growth. It's almost like one of those Pavlov's dogs type tests, where, they try to see how somebody reacts, and to not having their needs met. Or facial expressions, like when the baby's crying, the mom is like she doesn't care, and then to see the concern and the fear on the baby's face because the mom is not facially showing that she loves her child and wants to protect her child, which are normal feelings. She's not looking at the baby lovingly, like, I love you, oh, don't cry, baby. They're like, when their baby's crying, and the baby can see that and picks up that negative energy, emotionless. So those kind of studies were going on, and I, by synchronicity and repetition, I was able to pick up on that. I probably could have been in a program like that earlier on, not just right now, but earlier on, because of the way I came into the world. It's what happened to me as a baby, as a little girl. And those are the things that I feel like are coming. These are the answers that are coming. But no matter how I got here or what they did to me, I'm alive and I'm breathing, and I'm alive and breathing for a reason. And what this attack did is really, you look at me and you think, okay, well, she's unscathed. I assure you, I am not unscathed. Okay, what they did is my mind, it's like my mind can't conceive of it, all right? Such evil that it's just, there's no way to describe it. It's like, how could you be so full of hate and evil that you could do that? But then you wonder, how could there be serial killers? And you kind of associate these sociopaths that you thought were your family or friends. All of a sudden, they're behaving like sociopaths, and they have no empathy at all. What's going on? And then things happen, there's more shootings, people just out of the blue going to schools and shooting people. People, obviously, they were upset and, came over to New Orleans and drove over a bunch of people. There's this mind control thing. And you wonder, what would make this guy, okay, when you looked at the guy's, history, and he served in the the military in some way, what made him do that? Really, and they can say, oh, it's ISIS, he's just been indoctrinated and he just went berserk, right? And that's a very simplified, simplistic way to describe it. It's possible, sure. You can't, say it's not, but believe me, this mind control thing is really a thing, okay? And it leads me to believe, too, when nonsensical tragedy, when I think about that plane and that helicopter, with these skilled pilots, very skilled, and there was an abundance of staffing in the tower, and traffic control, but these were experienced. And sure, there's like a 0.00001% chance that timing was off and they just, collided. But these are trained, skilled people as well. And, if someone can be made to believe that no one loves you, well, this is not the helicopter thing, the Black Ops thing. I'm talking about the shootings at the moment. If somebody can get you to commit suicide or go to a mass shooting and then commit suicide, these are very serious things. And I don't think they're not random because they happen too much. Why are they happening so much? Okay? These are the questions I believe that the big brains are asking. Why is this happening? Or maybe they already know why and we're just trying to catch up, right? But it's really, for whatever reason or whatever hiccup, whatever happened in the cosmos to change the energy to where either the pilot didn't see the plane or they just the timing was off, the lights were changed, or their mental capacity, or they shifted their sights, they turned their head, and that was it. I don't know, but it just seems really odd to me, and probably you too, that there's some really strange things going on out there, and which I don't think it's a coincidence. I really don't. I think that there is something to this, and that we don't want to fall victim to accidentally being controlled by anyone for any reason at any time. And I think that the only way that we can do that is to pray and keep our eyes open and to be willing to step out of the norm for a minute, to really take a look. Now, I had some people, some celebrities, like I mentioned in my post last, that knocked themselves out to come after me. This wasn't just a regular MK Ultra thing, okay? They weren't trying to help me become strong and valiant. That was not the deal at all, because they wanted to steal from me. They never wanted me to find out who I was, ever. They just wanted to steal. My ex-husband was like way in deep because he had been stealing from me for like 13 years already. And, they were so vested in this theft that they couldn't afford to have me alive. So no, it wasn't a normal mind control thing where I was concerned. They needed to take me out, okay, to get away with what they had set up. And so they got Hollywood involved too. This was just my family in the beginning. But then, when I was supposed to have some sort of gift from Star Maker, and Star Maker was doing their shenanigans, which is a totally other thing that I was watching when I was on Star Maker for a few years. And no matter what I did, going to customer service to get help, I was still being hacked. I was being, monitored. The song, I had to sing love songs all the time to make the guy that was controlling me think that I was just obeying him at all times. There was strange way we communicated was really odd. He would send songs in a repetitious way. I would respond on a bot or on a computerized bot. And so there was interaction that way. But I knew, and I got really good at figuring out exactly what was going on around me. they told on themselves. Maybe nobody else picked up on it, but I was able to see through people that I interacted with behavior. I'd go to customer service. I would tell them what's going on. I would have these communications. All these specific songs that were telling me something would be coming to me. They put my personal, however they got my address. I think the guy told me, a customer, well, you might have your location setting on. They shouldn't have the power to go into my phone to know my location. They're an app, but they were hacking my phone because somehow they were able to get my personal address and put it all over StarMaker. So there was a reason for a legal issue just from that alone. But then I would get notifications that that would be threatening, like I'm going to delete your entire account, or I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to come over there and shoot you. I mean, or send me rap songs that talks about murder. They would send that. 1 minute it'd be I love you, I love you, I love you, all these songs like that, and then suddenly I'm going to kill you. I just like, seriously. And I hate to say it like that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But that's exactly, I mean, they're in the rap songs, so I don't know if I can even, But still, that's what was happening. So it would be like, why? And I was thinking, okay, 1 minute they're like so in love, and the next minute they are just like maniacal. Ugh, So, I mean, I watched it, and I took snapshots, and I kept track, of what was going on. And finally, it got to the point where I could really, really see the evil that was going on there, and that I was not getting support. Now, I went to StarMaker's bylaws. I looked at what their legal laws were. They weren't obeying any of them. Not at all. And I would go to them and say, look, you're supposed to be doing this, 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 and this. And they weren't doing any of that, So, and they didn't have a really good system to where anybody was ever heard, okay? So they had it perfectly set up that anybody could do anything to you, and you couldn't complain because they were doing it behind the scenes. So until you had the actual facts, catching them red-handed, they could be bullying you. And you say, look, so-and-so is bullying me. I know what they're psychologically conditioning me, sending me these songs over and over again, to try to first make me think that they love me. And the next minute, they hate me. And 1 minute they want just you, just you, just you. And then all of a sudden they send you this other woman over and over and over again, just like, you kind of figure out this mental manipulation, okay? So I'm already kind of tuned into this mental entrainment that they're already doing. Get her to love you, leave her for somebody else, make her cry and beg for your attention, right? That's the whole MO, right? Well, finally, I get fed up with these people. I knew I had a case on them. I knew I did. But I left. I hadn't taken any legal action at that point. But they followed me, okay? These people from StarMaker followed me. And come to find out, I had some gift that was going to come to me from StarMaker, from somehow, somewhere, right? That Harley Odysseus and the StarMaker Leo, a couple of people stole from me. And so, but they, instead of coming to me purposefully, because I had told Harley that I had jealous siblings. I was raised with them. I knew they were jealous. So he goes to they all go to my family and to the community, right? Because they know that there's a wedge there, a little bit of a wedge, right? And they go in there and make it bigger. And my family, they're loving that, Once they come over and tell them what they're doing, then, they hire them because they're already stealing from me since my childhood. And so this is going to work out just spiffy because now you've got these celebs coming over here, the StarMaker, and they get Tony and all these people to come over. We're going to just create this whole scenario and just destroy this woman's life and steal her music and her gifts because she is talented. I am. And so they're going to steal my stuff, pretend like we'll be her. We could make money. Oh, we'll get a copycat, use that sex tape that her husband took of her, use this copycat to do more porn videos on the dark web. We're just going to go destroy her ever-living life so that we all can keep her money. And the whole community just totally bit the bait and went right along with it. All of you. And it's like, it's just so, there's just no way anymore. There's no way left to not recognize what happened here. And so because God loves me and the angels really do love me and each and every one of us, I was alarmed. I was told through my spiritual connections that this was happening to me. And I was already had figured out a lot that was going on, just by keeping an eye on Star Maker. Then coming over and seeing what my sister and what they were doing there, and all of a sudden there's this Vicky person that's involved. My dad had another daughter. I wonder how long they knew that. They never told me. Oh, and she didn't say, oh, she said, Vicky is my half-sister. Why would you say Vicky is my half-sister? Wouldn't you say Vicky is our half-sister? Oh, guess what? No, who knows how long there's just so many details about how I figured out what my family was doing, okay? And I watched them they had to have had a hacker, because I watched them hack my Facebook account. I watched them, do all of what they were doing to me. I saw it with my own eyes, okay? And so, and I did complain. And believe me, when I knew that I realized that there was an inheritance, because someone had said, there's a caregiver out there. Somebody's left you an inheritance. And I thought, well, Stephen died. He wanted to, but he never did. So I never thought that he had done that. And then I thought about JD, because I went to help JD, my cousin that's my uncle's age in North Carolina. I went and helped him. Maybe he left me something, I just kind of figured, and so I was kind of investigating, because it was really strange. You're a caregiver. You had this, it's like, I didn't know. I mean, I really didn't. So, but it was just, but I knew Stephen wanted to. I didn't think he did. I didn't think he had time, because he passed away unexpectedly. I mean, I knew that he would eventually, but it was very unexpected. And so, anyway, to make a long story short, this has gotten to be such a horrendous attack, because once my perpetrators have figured out that I'm onto them, the attacks have become worse and worse and worse. They're copying my music. They're saying horrendous, evil things about me. They're depicting me in completely false ways, just doing monstrous, the worst, while they're stealing from me. And I just, you can't, you can imagine, but you don't know what it might feel like to have your family and your friends go way out of their way to just destroy you. It's just like, what is going on with you? Do the celebrities mean so much to you that all of a sudden God doesn't matter anymore? They're just going to do what the celebrity says. The Eastern stars, secret societies that practice witchcraft for real, and bringing it into the church to churchgoers, becoming witchcraft practitioners, for sure. That isn't even a maybe. It's an actual thing that they've been doing to me. But this witchcraft that is being permeated, it's like I said, it's like that flame, that fire it's engulfing the world. It's just like it's permeating. I see it over the ocean, over the continents, Right now, it is incredibly important that we pay attention to our surroundings. I don't think, President Trump, that it's a very good idea to take birthright citizenship, which is what's the point? If you're born here, you're kind of a natural inhabitant of your continent, right? So how could that be constitutional? I don't agree with that one, one bit. But anyway, but I can understand, saying that if their parents are illegally here and they're having these children to keep themselves here, I can see how that could be used to get illegal citizenship. But still, we have to be very careful. I mean, these are still human beings, and we still have to have some sort of kindness and respect and decency. But we also have a responsibility to our country. So I have a balanced idea of what that looks like. I believe. I mean, I'm sure there's so much I don't know. But I do want to express my feelings to you about these things as they come up, because I feel like, the Lord wants me to tell you that right now, this MK Ultra that they've been doing on me, I know that it was okayed by someone in the government. There was a big, help the homeless campaign, the Unstoppable program, okay? That was the CC reality TV they threw me into. But they didn't tell me. Signed my name to a document, to a contract, and paid a copycat in my name. They never paid me anything. They paid a copycat. Okay? And I have a friend that was telling me exactly things that he would have no way of knowing that I was doing because he could see me. He could see me in my home. People could see me undressing. Anything, they could see me. And you know who you are. And to think that, maybe they lied to you. Maybe they told you I bought in, but I didn't buy in. I didn't even know. They put me in a competition, and I never was, I didn't know I was in a competition. I was just singing. I wasn't competing with anyone. They threw me into the lion's den, not to make me a stronger, chosen angel of God. No, that wasn't it. They literally were planning, preparing, and forcing my demise. It was a premeditated crime. There's no question about it. And I am telling you, I already know, all of us already know, I never signed a contract with Tony Robbins. Not Tony, not Sage, none of their friends. I didn't sign a contract with Keanu. I didn't sign a contract with Odysseus or anybody from Star Maker. I didn't sign a contract. My family and these people, these career criminals, got together and spun a web of lies. Now, and they had court hearings saying I was crazy and all these different things so that they could go to court, take my money without me even getting to be there, which the courts knew, absolutely knew it. They knew the whole time that my mail was being held back. And I've talked about that before. And I even have some evidence that, come on, people. And I went to the police. I reported the inheritance. I reported my mail missing. I reported the abuse from the landlord. I reported what was happening, the truck missing. I reported the things that were happening to me. And then I realized I have to come on here and start shouting it to everyone to get you to pay attention because this is happening around us, okay? We owe it to ourselves to make sure that our police, that our legal protections are in place and enforced, absolutely enforced. This is our constitutional right. We are under attack in our own country by our own people. We are. That are being led down a path and they're not thinking it through. They're being led down a path and they don't even realize they're victimizing themselves by doing it this way, by doing what they're doing, by trying to control us and what we can do. Who gets to be successful? Who gets to be copycatted? Who gets to be made homeless or dead? Because we want to take what they've got. We want to control it all. And no more is there any respect for human life or even animal life. Even the life of the planet. They're just going to suck it all dry. And I think that the Lord's going to say, no, okay, he might have given Satan the stage for the moment, but you're not going to prevail. No, you're not. Are you kidding? I hope that you will just take a moment and really listen to what I'm telling you because these are things that are actually happening in my 3D life. Okay, my actual life, and I am fully aware that many of you are fully aware of what has been done to me. And it is time to speak up because I guarantee you, if they can get away with doing this to me, boy, you better believe they can do it to you too. If one of us does not get to exercise their constitutional rights, and you don't help them and protect them too, your neighbor, you're literally helping us lose the power, the only power between the people and the government. Do you understand that? So if you really want us to be a strong society where we really do and have expectations of these leaders, then you better be ready to defend your neighbor. We don't want to be pulled apart by COVID or pulled apart by social media jealousy and stalking and hacking and stealing. These are things that are setting up for hate and jealousy, because that's what Satan does. That's the permeating energy. Let's make them all destroy each other, or all be at each other's throats, all against each other. All this negativity, that is being allowed to happen. And if we don't step out, it's like a vacuum. It just sucks you right in. We need to decide who we really are. What we do. Think about who we are as a nation, as a world. It really, our lives depend on it. I can't drive it home enough. I really do care about what happens to my country. President Trump, I do. I care. What happens to this country and to this world? Our neighbors that we share this world with. I care about what happens to us. I care about what happens to innocent victims that did nothing to deserve their deaths. It's the Lord. Oh, you don't think the Lord is anything but docile? I assure you, He's got another side. He really does. He does have wrath. Oh, He does. And so I take heed. You need to correct your lives. Because ready or not, here He comes. He's coming. I know it. I don't know when. We never know when. But if you go along this pathway, your experience here on earth will be miserable. We'll all be back in the wild, wild west. Each man for himself with no protection at all. And, you see movies where it's depicted like that already, where there's separations of groups and factions. This is very dangerous. The last thing that we needed is to be pulled apart. We know we need to be pulling together, not apart. Anybody that tries to get you to separate from a person or a group or pull people apart, that's doing negative things, that's the wrong way. You want cohesiveness. You want love and cohesiveness. You want to be a team player, because humanity depends upon us working together, not pulling each other apart and tearing each other's lives apart. I wish there was some way I could convey how serious it really is. I'll be back. I think I want to sing a song. I'd rather sing than speak, but I feel like, God, my angels, they want me to talk to you and tell you what I see from my perspective, from my spirit team that tells me what's going on. And I tell you with a heart full of love and truth, even in the pain and sorrow that you have truly given me. Some of you, anyway, not all of you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.